Alrighty, welcome to this, whatever this is. So I've actually been meaning to try and tell my FF14 raid stories for a while now. So grab a drink, relax, and have a listen if you're interested. I did do a painting practice in the background to give you something to look at if you're watching. So let's go. This is one of my first and one of my most toxic static experiences ever. Bit of context. I started playing FF14 or Final Fantasy XIV around the time of Heavensward, late 2015. This was with a group of friends. We were tank, DPS, and me as a healer. So we were almost a light party of 4. Times change, and that is a story for another time, but I got really interested in in-game content. This was at the time of Alexander or A12S. Again, another story for another time. Now, fast forward to Deltascape 3 Savage. It's a fight that to this day still stresses me out. There's a portion in this fight that requires healers to go first into a panel and you kind of transform. And it's part body check with a layer of role responsibility. And what that just means is that if somebody messes up, everything kind of starts a domino effect of sorts, as it does have a debuff, and that's pretty bad, especially for the first few weeks of raid. So my previous experience with raiding was mainly completing A12S, and this was with Echo. I didn't know what Echo was then, but now I do. This was also via Party Finder, so yeah. It also means that I'm not quite new, but also I wasn't a veteran white mage or astrologian at that point. I could even say I kind of sucked, admittedly. So here we have my raid leader. He found me via Novice Network, and then I graduated out of Novice Network or NN. He helped me run dungeons from time to time too, and would kind of refer to me as his pocket healer or something like that. I never really truly appreciated that. It was generally nice outside of raids, but he's the type to kinda shout at you inside of raid, especially when you're near a position that he needs, let's say clock spots or something like that. He just shouts at you. He's the type to go panic scream, like kuri, 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 like that, for you to move, and then he'll tell you the command right after, like kuri, move, move, like that, over and over, and the panic kind of rubs off on everybody else, and he does that absolutely to everybody. And unfortunately for me, in this raid, as I said, the level of role responsibility for that portion for me was pretty big. I know it's probably fairly easy for most people, but I didn't understand the cleave mechanic very well, so yeah, lots of struggle there. Again, he was generally nice outside of raid. It's just this particular raid night was the worst. This was a few weeks just after the raid released, so a lot of people kept making mistakes at Halicarnassus. This was the 3rd floor. I messed up at some point, as you would expect, right? I wasn't able to do the animal mechanic, and we got a debuff. And from there, things kind of escalate. And he kind of started just shouting at me. It's like, Kuri, Kuri, oh my god, you idiot, look at where you're going, you idiot, you freaking idiot. And he continued that entire thing throughout the raid. He started going off and he was shouting. This was BC, and I had my headphones on just for, maximum emotional damage, I guess, and psychological damage. I don't know why I did that to myself, because I could have just gone and had them shouting through stereos or something like that, but no, I had my earphones on. I think it was because my earphones were still the Razer I have now, but that was the only mic I used. So there you go. That's primarily the reason why. So I usually used to talk in VC, but because of that incident, I kind of don't anymore. It's not that people are bad, but it's just that one incident kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie. There's no point in me voice chatting anyway, as well as I type really fast, so it doesn't really matter to me at this point. But at that point, I muted myself because I started crying. Like really crying, like sobbing. Because I have not been shouted like that so badly due to a freaking game. It was a mistake, sure, we were wasting time, sort of, yeah, but I wasn't the only one making the mistake, and mistakes were coupling. Mistakes were kind of having a snowball effect on me as well, and I was getting tired. But of course, that's not valid. At the end of the day, those are excuses. I kept saying sorry, I'm really sorry. I was. But he actually told me, don't be sorry, be better. And I took that to heart. Although I really just wanted to log off at that point. My hands were shaking, and not due to excitement of clearing a raid or anything like that. It was shaking because I just wanted to, shut down my PC, shut off the game. But also a part of me wanted to be better at this. So it went on. And so did the shouts, until we actually, finally cleared that freaking floor. And then finally, we all left. But before he left both BC and that raid floor, he basically said and went off with like a tangent of saying we all sucked and the DPS was so bad. Our DPS or our damage was so bad. Not to note that he was also contributing to that bad DPS, but he was so freaking angry at us even though we cleared it that night. So after that, of course, common sense was to leave, and I left that static. I appreciated the kindness of offering a newbie like myself the opportunity, but that was not fun at all. That was it. And after I left, I heard that they disbanded. To be fair, he did apologize. I accepted it, but I really didn't want to deal with it anymore. You could call me soft or whatever for crying over stupid stuff like that, but it was not a good time at all. And he actually invited me to join his FC. He's still in my server. I see his FC from time to time. He also mentioned that he'll make us static as everybody else sucked anyway or something like that. I had to say no, obviously, right? I've been trying to improve since then. I do believe that made me a stronger player, if not anything else. And I guess that you're here and you listen, thank you so much, and I hope that was a treat for you at the very least. So thank you mainly. And if this does well, I guess I can tell you a story of those two things I mentioned at the top, as well as how someone actually fell in love with me without even knowing my actual gender. Yeah, right? Weird. Alright. And yeah, that is if this does well, of course. So please like and comment if you can. I would totally appreciate that. I am trying to kind of work on this and know what my kind of content is while juggling my journey to art as well as rating and my day job. So again, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy my painting in the background as well, and cheers. Stay safe.